Hello?
Today we're going to be checking out the Defender. Now I haven't played this tank in a very long time, mainly because I cannot stand the gun on this thing. Armor, really good, but the gun, yeah, leaves a lot to be desired. Over the past 30 days on the EU server, you'll see that the Defender has been played 64,000 times, near the very bottom of any of the tier 8 premium heavy tanks, or in fact just near the bottom of any tier 8 heavy tank, and it's actually on page 2 of the win rate difference percentage, with a minus 0.92%. So statistically speaking, this tank is not played very well, and it is in the bond store for, what is it, 9,000 or 10,000 bonds? I think it's 9,000 bonds. Either way, we'll take this out for a spin. We'll go through the standard loadout, peasant loadout, and try-hard loadout, as we always do. Starting out with the standard loadout, we are using hardening, rammer, and stab. Now, you could really go for a turbo here, but I feel like you need stab, you need a rammer, and really you should just go with the hardening. Track health is very important, and not only that, but this tank just wants to brawl. It doesn't want to be kind of going everywhere style of tank, because you're not fast enough. Even with a turbo, you're not going to be going zooming around the map like an IS-7. Well, welcome to El Haloof, where we are going to go not up the top bit because we don't have any gun depression, but we will go to A2 and just fight on this corner. I was changing my settings. You're very rude. There we go. With this tank, we can actually side scrape as we repair the driver. Hello. Why am I being pushed? The armor on this tank is so good. The only way that you actually really pen one of these things is by going through the cupola at the top. So if you can just side scrape like this, against your own tier, they're not really going to pen you. We could even potentially cross this. And now we deal with these. Again, try to side scrape. The IS-3 has never heard about how to side scrape in his life. This IS-3 is just unbelievably annoying. I'm just going to try and cross this. Hello. Yeah. I have to get away from this IS-3. Like, I can't be near him. I'm going to just end up dying because of him. But now, what we should be able to do is play around here. And hopefully, you know what? We're going to go into premium. Just to try and make sure that we do actually get the pen. And this gun should actually provide us with a little bit of coverage for our cupolas. Any more people? Need to be careful when I do this because it's going to, I really couldn't see him because of the grass bit here. Yeah, I need to be careful when I go back up because it's going to expose the engine deck and then you can get shot there. You know, let's just push through like this. We'll be fine. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Everything is absolutely fine. See, look, he'll bounce. In fact, we can just, oh, 1 second. There we go. Go through that. Actually knock out the driver as well. And then he doesn't have shots at me, so it's an easy bit of damage here. Finish him off, and we just continue pushing through. We just continue. Yeah, we're still firing premium. I know the next shell we're going to switch back to AP. And we just continue. This should die. Okay, maybe not. Wait, does the Pershing finish him? Yeah. I thought the KV-4 would finish him, but apparently not. And now we just continue. That shot comes in from the right-hand side, which tells me that they're at the very back. But there's also proddy people at the very corner bit here. What I would like to try and do is cross this, and then we can try and deal with the 166 now. Hello. Goodbye. I mean, 440 Alpha is very nice, though. At tier 8, this is nice. The problem is that any further distance than, you know, what we're shooting at now is not really going to work. This tank is very good up close, and if the gun works, you're praying that the gun works. Any further distance, then I would say, oh, I don't know, like 150 meters, maybe 200. It's a lot less of a nice experience. Oh, hello. Yeah, at any distance more than that, you need to fully aim. And you don't have time to fully aim half the time. So, it's, this is the reason why I don't really enjoy playing it. Like, that's the reason. Because when you're playing over there, and in a brawl, it's amazing. As long as they don't hit the cupolas. But, yeah, when there's, like, hardly any, like, if they're hold down, for example, and you need to hit a cupola, no. That game has literally showed you everything about this tank. That is the Defender. I mean, not bad. 2.8k, nearly 2.9. apply. Well, it's now time for the Peasant Loadout, and we're going to the city because I can't play the valley, not in a defender. And you know what? We're going to follow the road like all good law-abiding citizens in water tanks. Yep. I mean, watch. I'll probably hit this links, like on the move, across the map. Look at this. Where is he? We now just need to pray that people actually come this way. Our team is not really playing the valley. They've just allowed them through, which is really not good. All right, we knock this tree over. We then go behind the tree. And we just wait. Even a big defender like this should be fine. We should spot them, then we can go back behind the bush, shoot them. Although, we do probably need to push this, now that I think about it. If our team's pushing, we might as well push as well. I mean, I don't know whether or not it's worth to go back to the base at this point, or if it's worth to just push through into their base. It's going to take me so long to go back to base. We've discovered the nest. I mean, our team should be able to defend it. Okay, here we go. Mr. Govica. Oh, okay. I mean, I roll for 420, he rolls for 422. I have higher alpha, but that's just, you know, it's fine. Clearly he didn't get the memo that I have higher alpha. Okay, maybe our team is not going to defend the base. This is not good. I'm not going to lie, our base to defend it is not hard. But apparently it is. They're even just pushing in. Usually they'll just sit on the base. The gun is working better in this game than it was last game, and we don't have any food. It doesn't make any sense. Well, that was an enjoyable time. I mean, you might say, Max, it's pretty obvious. Why didn't you just go back to base? There are so many times in that game where you go back to base and you just get stuck because you can't do anything, especially with this tank at range. I would need to be in there with them. And I can't get back in time to do that. So there's so many times where you go back to base, and by the time that you got back to base, they can't push, or they haven't pushed. So then you're just wasting your time going back. And then in that time, your team then pushes into their base. It's so hard on that map to decide whether or not it's the correct choice to go back to base, or just to push their base. So, I don't know. We chose wrong that time. But even if I went back, I don't know how much I would have done. As always, before we go into the Hard Loadout, we're going to run through the field mods. Right-hand side for the first one, because terrain instances, absolutely fine, as long as we're using food and off-road driving. Then we go for the left-hand side to get the accuracy, and then the right-hand side for the view range. Ah yes, perfection. Sand River. I guess to the middle of the map. Oh, a fellow defender. Hello. Oh wow. Look at the aim time. It's just... oh, the aim time on this thing is so bad. This being the Hard Loadout, we are obviously using full gold. Oh. We do have full bond equipment, just everything you can do to make this tank as good as it can be. We also have like 423 track health with this, which is very, very nice, especially for tier 8. However, this being Sand River, we are going to have to just sit here and do nothing for a little bit, especially because the SVAC's there. I mean, we could HE the SVAC, no? 68 pen, that's enough. It's like around there. I can't remember where the rock is. Like, the rock is about here, but I don't know where, because there's like another mound or something that's around there, so I don't know whereabouts I can shoot. I don't think we're going to spot the SVAC. I mean, the enemy side has so many more positions to actually play from. Like, they can play down here, but then also play where the SVAC is right now, and he'll never get spotted unless we start to push through and then spot them from there. Although we are starting to make progress. I'm going to go up this side and see if I can shoot anyone. So the SVAC's still there. He's a bit further right. So he's around about here. SU's still up to the right over there as well on the ridgeline. The Liss is there. There's a Super Hellcat. I mean, let's be honest. If we had hit that, that would have been something. Well, at least we hit that. Yeah, usually, if the enemy team plays this correctly, they just lose outright. I mean, at the moment, it says we're winning, but this is also not very good. Like, they've pushed into our base. Gonna just have to go for these shots. If they're ducking down behind cover, we just need to go for the shots. I think it's probably time to go back to base and just make sure that we can secure that. I'm a bit worried about the previous game. But I mean, this is a bit different. Like, most of their team is still in their base. Yeah, I don't think this is as much of a threat. Maybe we can actually go up and around here. We're not going to spot the even 90, but we might be able to find someone else that's around here. And also just go along this bit. There's the SVAC. Oh, we actually do spot the even 90. I don't know if that went through him or if it just missed slightly. I think it missed slightly and went to the left. Every single person has been spotted apart from the M12, which means that I can go and HE this even 90 because everyone's down the bottom. There's only a CS44 and a Super Hellcat here. So I should, yeah, he's now running away, which means that we now own this ridge line and hopefully we can maybe go and see the SVAC as well. CS44 is too far away. So is the Super Hellcat. Yeah, that's annoying. The CS-44 is literally just on this ridgeline or at the very back, and the same with the Super Hellcat. But I can't spot them because I don't have the view range. I don't have the gun depression either. Oh, this is such a struggle for this tank. He's around about there. It doesn't matter. He misses anyway. Well, I mean, we're going to win, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. This tank just doesn't feel good anymore. It excels in one scenario, which is the first game, basically. And only in that first bit where we could actually play the game. In every other scenario, this tank just sucks. The gun is awful. It has armor, yes, but as soon as they realize that they can pen your cupolas, you don't have armor at all. It feels very, very left behind. And that is an impressive thing to say, considering when this tank came out, it was so OP. In comparison to anything else that there was in the game, this was just outright broken in comparison. And yet now, it doesn't feel good. It really just doesn't feel good to play. It feels slow, it feels like a slug. It turns like it's a super heavy, even though that it doesn't look like a super heavy. Like, this doesn't look like a Malbreaker, does it? But yet, it feels like you're playing one sometimes. I mean, 1.7k, block 2000, which is good. Apply. So is the Defender still a good tank? Nowhere close to what it used to be. It used to be really, really good, but now there's so many tanks that are just better than it. And I suppose that it's also personal preference in the way that I don't like tanks with bad guns. I really just don't. I'd rather them have no armor and a really good gun than having loads of armor and a really awful gun. But this just feels like, especially now, where armor flashlight is in the game, you know where to hit a defender, and the armor becomes less and less relevant with each patch that passes, it seems. You don't ever shoot the hull armor on this tank. You always go for the turret, always go for the cupola, and if you're round the side or rear, then yes, you can pen the armor of it. Especially with armor flashlight, as I said. They'll just light up green. But when you compare this to like a tank such as the 703-2, it's just so much nicer to play the 703-2. The 703-2 doesn't have the same kind of armor, even though it's very good, but not as good as the Defender hull armor. But the turret is much better, and the gun is much better. I'd much rather go and play a Tech Tree KV4 than the Defender. Yes, it doesn't earn credits, but if I was just purely playing for how the tank feels, I'd rather be in a KV4. And obviously the saving grace of this tank is that you can get it, or the 252U version, from the Bond store. However, you can also just go and get a Tiger Mouse for a little bit more bonds, which is just a better vehicle than this altogether. See you later.